Assalamu alaikum, good evening. I'm Syed Rumman. Welcome you to our regular show, Community Matters, once again. আপনারা জানেন Community Matters এ আমরা এমন ইভেন্ট নিয়ে আসি যা আমাদের কমিউনিটিতে রিসেন্টলি ঘটছে। কমিউনিটিতে অনেক ঘটনাই ঘটে, অনেক কালচারাল অ্যাক্টিভিটিস হয়। তো তেমনি একটা কালচারাল অ্যাক্টিভিটিস হচ্ছে এই মুহূর্তে আমাদের কমিউনিটিতে, ব্রিটিশ বাংলাদেশি কমিউনিটি। আমরা গান শুনি সবাই, কিন্তু গানের মূলে গেলে আসলে আমরা ক্লাসিক্যাল মিউজিকের কথা বলি। আর এই ক্লাসিক্যাল মিউজিক নিয়েই এখন একটি ইভেন্ট হচ্ছে লন্ডনে। সেই ইভেন্ট নিয়ে আমরা আলোচনা করব। আজকে আমাদের আলোচনার বিষয় হচ্ছে Ghazal, Thumri Kheyal Festival, organized by Soudha Society of Poetry and Indian Music. সৌধার সম্মানিত অতিথিরা আমাদের সাথে আজকে আছেন। আমরা প্রথমেই আপনাদের সাথে পরিচয় করে দিব আমাদের সাথে কারা আছেন। আমি প্রথমে পড়ে যাচ্ছি on my left hand side. First of all, let me introduce you with T.M. Ahmed Khaishar, Director of Soudha Society of Poetry and Indian Music and a poet. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for inviting us.
Next to T.M. Ahmed Khaishar, there is Dr. David Lee Morgan, poet and saxophonist. Thank you very much, Dr. David.
My pleasure.
Thank you. And on my right-hand side, immediate right-hand side, Dr. Imtiaz Ahmed, Tagore singer, very famous Tagore singer. Thank you very much for coming to our show.
Thanks for your kind introduction. Thanks.
And Shayan Gupta, Ghazal singer. Thank
Hi,
you very
thank
much.
you.
Thank you very much for coming to our show.
Thanks for inviting. Pleasure is mine.
দর্শক, আমরা পরিচয় করে দিলাম আমাদের সাথে আজকে কারা আছেন। আমরা প্রোগ্রামটা বোথ ইংলিশ এবং বাংলায় আমরা কন্ডাক্ট করার চেষ্টা করব। As we have a guest, a poet and saxophonist, Dr. David Lee Morgan is with us today. So let me first kick off the program with the introduction of Soudha Society of Poetry and Indian Music, and I will request poet T.M. Ahmed Khaishar, the director of Soudha Society of Poetry and Indian Music, to introduce the Soudha Society of Poetry and Indian Music.
Thank you very much. Let me introduce yourself as well, because I'm not sure whether your audience know that you are a good poet too.
Thank you very much.
Yes. So thank you very much for inviting in this great show, Community Matters. And this festival that we'll be talking about is somehow seriously related to this community, because when we talk about the community, we always set a vision.
Yeah.
And this festival is trying to probably set a vision as well, and then trying to pull the communities towards this vision. You mentioned about music. Music is such a, I mean, there is no doubt about the fact that probably we disagree in many extent, but music is divine. This is almost universally agreed.
That's right.
Agreed fact. And Soudha Society of Poetry and Indian Music is an organization from Bengali or Bangladeshi background, which is trying to propagate the magic and the hypnotic art form and artistic intricacies of Indian classical music to, first of all, our audience, and also we are trying to cross the boundary as well, because we always have some set audience. When you talk about Indian classical music or any art form, Indian art form, we always have a set audience. Unless we can expand that audience network, we are just probably sharing one's audience to others. Soudha is created with a vision to expand the audience network.
Okay.
I mean, this is, we always say that Soudha is in a campaign to create new audience of Indian classical music. So I mean, we always target who are actually regular audience, who have a significant journey in Indian classical music, who are a good listener, whose ear is trained enough to listen to or to distinguish between tune and distune or whatever you say. But at the same time, we are also targeting a very fresh audience in the West. Probably some of those audience are, when it comes to Indian classical music, they always relate, that's probably Ravi Shankar.
Yeah.
And then the whole process was stopped.
Yeah.
We are trying to introduce Indian classical music in a completely new way, a new presentation.
Okay.
Completely new
you said
presentation.
new way. I'll come back to you. We have a caller. Let me see what the caller wants to actually say or share with us. Hello, assalamu alaikum.
হ্যালো আসসালামু আলাইকুম আমি শফিকুল আলম বানলি থেকে ভাই আপনাদের প্রোগ্রাম খুব সুন্দর হইতেছে আমি ওখানেও কইতাম চাই আমি 10 বছর নাইট ক্লাবে ডান্সিং করছি আমি আমার গেছি একলা আইসি একলা নাইট ক্লাব থেকে বাইরে আমি ইংলিশ বিটের লগে আমি ইংলিশ মিউজিকের বিটের লগে আমি সব সময় ডান্স করতাম ইভেন ডিজে ও বিটের সময় কোন সময়
আপনার কোশ্চেনটা কি দা ভাই সাহেব
জি
আপনার কোশ্চেনটা কি দা হোয়াট ইজ ইওর কোশ্চেন
আমার কোশ্চেন হইলো আমরা বাঙালি মিউজিক হোক আর ইন্ডিয়ান মিউজিক হোক আর পাকিস্তানি মিউজিক হোক আর আফ্রিকান মিউজিক হোক ইংলিশ বিট আই মিন ওয়েস্টার্ন কালচারের যে মিউজিকটা নাই এটা হইলো নাম্বার 1 আর আমরা এই মিউজিক ফলো করন লাগবো এখানে কোরআন শরীফও লেখা আছে
Okay, thank you very much. We'll discuss about your concern or point you raised. Thank you very much for your call. Now my
Before we go to the next
okay, would you
guest,
like to say anything?
just one thing. I have to clarify the fact that when we say Indian classical music, we actually always mean Indian subcontinental music. So, I mean, when we say Indian subcontinental music, Bangladesh, India, Pakistan is included. Yes.
The word Indian actually represents
Indian
the whole Indian
pan-Indian.
Yeah. Thank you very much. I'll come back to you again. Dr. David Lee Morgan, thank you very much for coming to our show today.
Well, it's a
once
great
again.
pleasure.
And we'll definitely hear some poem from you. And would you like to say something about
Today's
event? Did you attend the event today?
I did, yeah. It was, as usual, it's the second time I've been able to be at this event. I was at it last year. And I'm not greatly knowledgeable about the music of pan-Indian subcontinent, but being fortunate enough to live in London, which is the most international city in the world in terms of the number of languages spoken and the number of cultures, I feel like I'm in a university of poetry every day. And this is one of the high points of my education.
Yeah, that's true. Thank you very much. I'll come back to you again with a desire to hear a poem from you. Thank you. Dr. Imtiaz Ahmed, thank you very much once again. And I guess you performed today.
No, I didn't. I mean, I performed in shows that's different. I think if I can, so what was your
Would
question?
you like to add up something?
Right, okay. The issues is that what Sauda is doing in current context and what is their aim is to promote Indian culture, into and reach out to the mainstream, which are the non-Indian subcontinent, sort of language speaking, English speaking, or anybody who actually not integrated with the Indian culture that much, to reach out to them. So you have got greater audience, greater people, and mix the the cultural, we call multicultural environment in Britain, which David was just mentioning, is flourishing there. And one of those, I mean, I performed in other programs where Shodho not only promotes classical music, they will also promote other type of semi-classical music as well. And I did participate in that one. What my take in this particular festival is essentially to, we're also learning as part of, like you say, pan-Indian. We heard beautiful South Indian classical music today. And after that, I mean, I heard a lot of North Indian. We are quite used to North Indian music, and there was a South Indian participant there, and she sang so beautifully, and everybody came out and saying, "I need to learn the South Indian music from you." So it's not only Indian versus Indian or subcontinent culture going reach out to the intra-subcontinental, intra-Indian. Within ourselves, we are also learning a lot. So it enriches not only everybody only, I mean, you know, us as well, outside us. So it's a very, very rich program, and I would urge our audience to join us, because there are 2 more days of this festival. We kicked off today, and then I think it's the next 12, and also on the 13th.
Yes.
There will be more program.
Thank you very much. Now I will go to Shayan Gupta, Ghazal singer. Would you like to say something about this event?
Yes, so the
How
first thing
do you find this event?
He did
it's
sing for them.
wonderful. Yes, the singing experience, I'll come to that. But then what really amazed me was the fact that there was a guy called Anthony, and he's a big shot. And, you know, by hearing us just jamming, he was so interested that he contributed. He actually said that, why can't I, you know, pick my guitar and then contribute? And then during our first session, right, he was struggling a bit because it was Ghazal. It was so many variations of the chords. And then, you know, he took that lesson back, and today, in 2 days, he came back and he learned around 15 different type of chords. And as we speak, he played fantastically with me for 4 songs of different genre.
Okay.
Imtiaz Bhai was just referring about the Carnatic music. David, he's here right with us. After, you know, the event was concluded, he came and then actually noted down what is Carnatic music, how do you spell it, what can I do to search more about that music.
Wow.
So that is kind of, you know, interest or audience Saudha is generating. If you ask me the vision of Saudha, as per me, of course I'm not in that position, I would say, you know, we do conferences for weeks, we do workshops across length and breadth of UK. And why just UK? It should span across Europe and whatnot. That is where I should see Saudha in a couple of years from now.
Thank you very
I'm so
much. That's
proud and glad to be part of it.
I hope this aspiration will be reached. And thank you, TM Kaiser. We have a caller. I'll try to attend the call. Hello, assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum assalam. Thanks for calling.
আমি আলেকুর রাম, খুব সুন্দর একটা টপিক আনছেন আপনার, যে অতিথি হল আছেন
জি
আমার অভিনন্দন। আর এই যে মিউজিকের কথা যে আপনারা কইরা,
জি
বর্তমান সময়ে যে বাংলাদেশে আগর যে বাউল সঙ্গীত যারা যে গান গাইতো, যেটা মিউজিক থাকতো, এগুলি এখন ধ্বংস করিলিরা এখন আধুনিক যে মিউজিক আনছেন, এগুলি এই গানের লগে গান মিক্স হয় না। কারণ যে কোনো খাদ্য আপনি মানে আনাজ না দিলে মালের লগে মিলাইয়া
আচ্ছা ভাই সাহেব থ্যাংক ইউ। আপনার ক্লাসিক্যাল মিউজিক লইয়া কিছু খোয়ার আছে নি? আপনি ডু ইউ আন্ডারস্ট্যান্ড দ্য মিনিং অফ ক্লাসিক্যাল মিউজিক? এনিওয়ে আমি প্রশ্ন করেছিলাম যে ক্লাসিক্যাল মিউজিক সম্বন্ধে উনি জানেন কিনা, এবং প্রশ্নটা এসেছিল বাউল সঙ্গীত নিয়ে। এই বিষয়টি নিয়ে আমরা ক্লাসিক্যাল মিউজিকের ডেফিনেশন নিয়ে আমরা আসবো আপনাদের মাঝে। তার আগে আমি যাচ্ছি ছোট্ট একটা বিরতিতে, বিরতির পর আবার ফিরে আসবো। সেই পর্যন্ত আপনারা আমাদের সাথে থাকুন। ধন্যবাদ।